promise I'm gonna let you get back to the video course. I want to give you one more video bonus content as it relates to speech writing, because this is such an important part of speaking. So I've already shared with you the formatting approach that I take, which is a hybrid between outline and manuscript. I also shared with you my secret flow, how I lay out my speeches. Now I want to give you an actual speech that I have written and have used over the years. And what you'll notice about this speech is some of the elements that I shared with you in the previous two bonus videos. And so we start first with the title. The title of this speech is Crooked Smile. Okay, Crooked Smile is not original to me. It's a title that I borrowed from Jermaine Cole, who is a hip hop artist who I knew would appeal to this audience because I was speaking at a college. Okay, you see my name here, title, name, the date. Okay, it's April 2016. I put where I delivered this speech, so that the next time I go to Kennesaw State University to speak, I need to think twice about using the same content. In my introduction, notice how I open. We grow up looking at ourselves through the carnival mirrors of our surroundings. Because our normal was normal, we have a distorted view of self, reality, and possibilities. Distorted view? Yes. Wrong view? No. Life as a young adult broadens and balances your view of self, life, and reality. And then notice I go into this personal story about my age, how I was married with 2 boys in college, and how I, just responded emotionally to different things. And I thought I was weird until I called my dad, okay? Then I come down here and I say, when you see yourself in a carnival mirror, it is you, but not as you really appear. When you see yourself in a normal mirror, it is you as you really appear. So how should I respond when I see myself as I am, but don't like what I see physically or emotionally? Okay, told the story. I opened with a poignant thought, told a personal story about how I, saw myself through distorted images and reflections. And then I stated plainly, this event is about empowering you. And here's my big idea. What I think about me determines what I see when I look at me. Why would I say it that way? Well, because I use mirrors as a metaphor. So there has to be some concept of how I see myself in the big idea. So people who heard this speech would connect, okay, carnival mirrors, distorted view, regular mirror, plain view. But what I really think about me is what determines how I see me, the reflection that I see when I look at myself. So that was my introduction. Okay, pretty cool, I thought. Come down to the discussion and hear my main thoughts. How do I move to see myself in a healthy way? Well, I have to move from idiosyncrasies to instincts. That's my first main point. From self-consciousness to subconsciousness. That's deep. And then also from flawed to focused. Okay, number 4, from unattractive to undeniable. These are 4 main thoughts that I want to share with people as we think about this concept of crooked smiles and how we sing ourselves through distorted mirrors. And so idiosyncrasies to instincts, I define what an idiosyncrasy is. See, it's in red. All right, I need that definition to be stated as such. Then I explain what that means and I give examples. Some idiosyncrasies may be in the way you fold bath towels or in the order in which you eat your burgers and your fries. Okay, those are just examples of idiosyncrasies. Then I talk about how hard it was for me as an adult to accept the little weird things about myself. Then you notice here in red, anything in red, I state verbatim. Question: when struggling to accept your idiosyncrasies, ask yourself this: what is normal anyway? Okay, so that question has to be stated. Came right back with the big idea. I have a quote here from an author. Okay, his book Instinct, Thomas Jakes writes that quote. And I come down and ask another question to strengthen instincts instead of idiosyncrasies. Then I move, see the transition here? From idiosyncrasies to instincts, but we must also move, number 2, from self-consciousness to subconsciousness. So I define what it means to be self-conscious. Here's some examples of things we can be self-conscious about, okay? And then I move to, what happens when you're self-conscious and the attention that you draw, the embarrassment and insecurity. I restate the big idea, and then I go to Napoleon Hill's classic book, Think and Grow Rich. And I tell the story of how he used auto-suggestion for the subconscious to influence his deaf son to be able to hear. And then I drew out application from Napoleon's book and from his story to encourage us to intentionally use our subconscious instead of being victims of our self-consciousness and being able to appreciate our pretty smiles. Okay, here's another transition statement. It should be italicized, and we move to number 3, from flawed to focus. Okay, and I thought about my sons and how some of the flaws of mine may have come out in them. I restate the big idea. Here's an analogy that I use to help explain what it means to fix something that may be flawed. I use the analogy of cars in the current model, that the future model of that car shouldn't have some of the same flaws. In the same way, hey, I'm the model that was born in 1986. My son's born in the aughts should not have the same flaws. They should be an upgraded version of me based on how I parent them. And then last of all, from unattractive to undeniable. My last main point, and then I go to this conclusion. Notice the conclusion. I end asking questions. And these are the existential questions that all of us are seeking to answer no matter how old we are, and leave them with something that they cannot forget. When you leave tonight, I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions. Who am I? Why am I here? Not here at Kennesaw State, but here on earth. Number 3, what brings me satisfaction and significance? Why? Because what I think about me determines what I see when I look at me. Thank you. All right, so that's typically how I move through my speeches, but you notice just some of the factors that I talked about. You also see the word count here, and this is about 1,700 words. So this is about a 17 to 20-minute speech. Some of the stories, I didn't manuscript them. I tell them off the top of my head. I tell them from my heart. So those stories can add time to that moment. But you see that's an example of a good speech to a young adult audience using a hip hop artist's song title as the title of the speech. The concept, though, is being able to move in the way we see ourselves, from distorted reflections to healthy reflections. And I give them 4 main ways to do it. That's an actual speech that I actually wrote and I've actually delivered before. And I'm going to include it in this course for you. You can go ahead and take those notes and you can do with them what you will. Thank you for taking this course. That's enough bonus material. Now get back to the video course.